We're underneath the hood of our 1972 Chevy Nova, Yanko style. We have a 350 small block Chevy in it, SR2 Edelbrock intake manifold, vacuum Hawley's carburetor, vacuum secondaries, chrome dress-up kit, the correct style air cleaner, chrome top for it with the correct 350 designation on it, chrome valve pan covers, chrome filler gooseneck on the intake, new alternator. The heater lines are still attached, still hooked up and workable on this particular vehicle too. Brand new dual stage master cylinder on it, new hydraulic lines for the power steering. It does have power steering. Has a aluminum flex fan, the correct shrouded radiator, a heavy duty big wide radiator in the front of it, new battery, new alternator, HEI distributor, a cell, high silicon wires, high temp wires for it, and boots. Real nice straight car underneath it. Probably started life as a 300 horse 350, and it's got an intake, and it's got a set of about 1.5" long tube exhaust headers on it, so it's making certainly substantially more horsepower than 300. It's a nice looking car underneath the engine compartment. There's no leaks evident whatsoever on the intake. The front of the engine, timing cover, valve pan, gaskets, absolutely no leaks, no oil anywhere on the engine. Nice clean engine compartment, a lot of look, a lot of pop with the chrome accents on it. Let's take a look at the rest of the car, see what we have. Hi, you're at Hanksters in Daytona Beach, Florida, and today our special guest on the floor is a 1972 Chevy Nova. This particular car is in full Yanko 69 style dress. Good looking car. It's black, obviously, nice deep gloss to the paint, white accents, so we chose on this one to do white as opposed to any other color. And front end of this car is absolutely gorgeous. The paint is really nice. The hood fitment, as you can see, is just straight and nice as could possibly be. The chrome louver type accents on the hood are absolutely brand new. No pitting whatsoever, not even down inside of it anywhere. Entire perimeter of the hood is just as nice and straight as should be. The anodized aluminum piece with the Chevy bow tie designation on the front and fender lip trim is all just as nice as you'd ever want to find. Aluminum grille, no dents, no deviation, no warbles or anything on the fins in the grille. Filler panel, argent silver, just the way it should be. No cracks or breaks in it. Usually they have some type of distortion or cracks. This one does not. Front bumper is absolutely brand spanking new. Nice as could be, and the fitment's about as nice as you could possibly get. A little bit close on that side. Laterally it could move over that way about, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch, and it would be absolutely precise at that point. Parking lights, marker lights, just as nice and clean and clear as you'd ever want. Amber, the way they should be for 1972. SS designation in the front, because that's what we're going to make this car look like, an SS styled Yanko YSC Nova. Great looking car in the front, nice fitment, nice paint. I don't see any defects or deviations whatsoever in the paint on the hood or the tops of the fenders. Let's go around the side, see what we can find for you there. Okay, now the driver's side of our YSC Nova. This stripe really, the striping on this thing really adds a lot of pop to this vehicle. Looks just like a real 69 Yanko Nova, 427 Nova. Fantastic looking car, great color combination. Cooper Cobra tires on 15-inch rally wheels, disc brakes in the front. Look at this, the fitment of the hood to the cowl area, to the front fender, to the door. That's as nice as you're ever going to find on any Nova. Yanko badges, just the way they would have been in 69, 70, 71, 72. Nice fitment of the door to the front fender. Trimmer on the front window. Really nice. No marks on it whatsoever. Correct wiper arms and blades on this car also. When you look down through the windshield, which is a tinted window by the way, it is tinted, The top of the dashboard where it transitions onto the base of the windshield is just as clean and clear as it was in 1972 when this car was produced. You can see the padded dash also is the same way. Really nice fitment, nice resilience to it. Great looking dashboard in the car. Of course, the roof is just absolutely flawless. It's just as straight and nice as can be. The paint's very nice and deep. Chrome around the vent wings is really, really nice. Original rubbers yet. It's amazing. They're original and they're still good. They're not warranting any replacement. Chevy bow tie mirror, correct mirror for this car for 1972. The window wipes, whiskers are brand new. They were just freshly installed. They are absolutely new. Door handle the same way. The chrome is as deep as you'd ever find. Really, really nice chrome finish on it. This is a base car. It doesn't have anodized aluminum trim around your windows. They are tinted windows inside. Wow, that's amazing. Tinted glass all around this car. It does not have a chrome or stainless drip molding on it either, but it adds a nice sinister look to the car, you know, a nice stealth look to it with the white striping. Wow. For a Nova, look at this door. That's as nice as you'll ever find any fitment of any car. Quarter panel, sail panel. There's no marks on the sail panel at all. Quarter panel the same way. The lips of the fender wells are rolled up in to clear the bigger 15-inch wider tires that came on this car. Novas don't accept a lot of big rubber in the back of them, so you have to do something with the wheel lips. This one has been professionally rolled up in and fitted very nicely. All tin too, by the way. Side marker lamp, really nice. Yanko SC designation on the back. Again, tinted backlight. Trim around the back window. No marks whatsoever. The hat rack, the shelf is just, it's absolutely as it was when it was brand new. Brand new replacement on it. And the trim around it also, nice fitment on it. As nice as you'd ever want to find. The driver's side of this car is just laser straight. You'll not find one any nicer, not a nicer fitment anywhere on any car than you're going to find on this one. Let's see what we can find for you out back. Okay, the back end of our Yanko style Nova. You can see the deck lid is just gorgeous. The paint on it is nice. There's no dents, no deviations on it. I don't see any dirt in the paint or anything. It's just as nice and sweet as could possibly be. Yanko badges, SS badges also. Correct black filler in the back the way it should be. Anodized trim around the tail lights and backup lights, just as nice as you'd ever want to find. Both sides, really, really nice looking. Bumper fitment on this one. This is about as nice as you're going to find on one. That is a nice straight bumper. The chrome on it equals that of the front bumper. Just as nice and clean as can possibly be. You can see the bumper fitment's absolutely gorgeous on this one. Front one needs to be tweaked over toward the driver's side just a little bit. This one is fitting just as nice as can be. Again, you can see your gaps around the back. Just as nice as you'd ever want to find. Especially for a Chevy Nova. Geez, on that, they're really, really nice. Nice car so far. I mean, honestly, it's just as nice a car as you'd want to find. There's a couple little tiny specks in the paint here and there I could see, but you can't feel them. Might have been a little dust or something when it was being painted. Again, it's a driver quality car. This is not a 100-point show car by any means. It's also not priced like one either. It's very priced accordingly. Let's see what's on the passenger side. Okay, up the passenger side of our Yanko SC Super Chevy. Side marker lamp, just as nice and bright and clean as it could possibly be. Again, tin, no Bondo. Rolled up and again, just as the other side was. Trim around the back light. I don't see anything at all on it. It's just as nice as can be. Sail panel the same way. Yeah, no. This is really getting picky here. But inside the gutter, where the water would run, I can see a little bit of primer here where it could be brush touch, which I'm sure Rod will do. You can't see it, it's down inside the gutter. I guess we're being pickier than we really should be, but we will brush touch that so that when you're looking at it coming up on the car at this angle, you won't see it. Again, the paint on this thing's just really, really nice. Look at this door. Unreal. Door to the rocker, to the quarter. Again, brand new door handle for us. Wipes, whiskers, the same as the other side, just absolutely brand new. Good addition, right-hand mirror. Gotta have that. Look at this. This is probably one of the nicest fitting Novas I think I've ever had. This thing's totally amazing. The quarter to the door, back of the door, to the front of the door, to the front fender. There's nothing. Look. To the hood, to the cowl. Little dingy here. When they were installing it, apparently somebody hit it a little harder than they should have. Really have to get it at the right light, but there is a ding there. Just that one, that's all I found on any of the trim the whole way around this car. Front fender. Marker light in the front, the same as the other ones. Just as nice as could possibly be. All tin. It's a nice car. These rally wheels with the white letter tires with the white Yanko striping really add a lot of pop to this car. It's got a brand new interior, which we'll see here in just a second. Disc brakes in the front, which you're going to see in our under chassis video here. This car is as attractive as the nicest car. There's a little tiny bit, you're never going to see this in the video, but there's a little tiny bit of like a warble where the paint was a little thick. Almost looks like it needs to be wet sanded there just a bit and just touched with a buffer. Just notice that. Other than that, you watch me go over the whole car. It's as nice and straight a Nova as you're ever going to find. It's obviously not a real Yanko. It is a 4-speed, small block, Yanko style, disc brake front Nova, 72. It looks like a 69. They all look the same. But the car is just as nice and attractive a vehicle as you'd ever find. We encourage everybody to come and look at these cars in person. You know, it's one thing to look at them. We try to do as comprehensive a video as we possibly can to represent this car to you for exactly what it is. If I see something, I'll point it out. I mean, even at the end of the video, I saw something, so I pointed it out to you. We do the same thing in the interior and the undercarriage, too. Anything we notice, we're going to point out to you. But we do encourage everyone to come and look at the vehicles. We like to meet you. We like to present the vehicles to you in person. We like to show you our entire venue. We keep about 80 cars in stock here in Daytona, and they're all driver quality or better. And yes, we do have $100,000 ones too, but the majority of the vehicles are going to be in that $30,000 to $50,000 range. And we have some under $30,000 also. So these are all very good driver quality cars. Can't wait to meet you guys. Come down, take a look at it. We're going to do the rest of the presentation for you, and you got yourself a really, really nice Yanko style Nova here at Hanksters in Daytona Beach, Florida. Well, we're inside of our 1972 Yanko style Nova. SS designation on it everywhere, Yanko designation on it everywhere. It's a great looking car, fantastic looking car. Tight as a drum headliner in the vehicle. You already saw the hat rack. The shelf in the back is absolutely brand spanking new. The interior in this car, front seats, back seats, are the correct style interior with the basket weave center type accents in it. Bench seat, they match absolutely perfect. Side panels in the back do have the wood grain accents on them as they do on the doors in the front, and they are also all new. The entire interior of this car has been replaced with a new interior. Steering wheel does not, it's the original Chevy SS style wheel, but it does not have any brakes on the plastic. Door handles are nice as can be. The chrome on them is beautiful. The armrests, same way, are absolutely brand new. Window cranks the same way, all brand spanking new the way it should be. Dashboard, as we stated previously, is just as nice and resilient as could possibly be. It's also new. Gauge cluster, There's not much for gauges. You have a speedometer and a fuel gauge. That's it, and some idiot lights. Radio delete. It still has the plate on it. There's not a single thing. The gauges themselves are crystal clear. They function as they should. It just has a standard heater controls in it. Dome light does work. I don't see a single thing in this car. It does not have seat belts. If that's an issue, we're going to have to install them for you, but this car does not have seat belts, front or rear, so bear that in mind whenever you're looking at it. Here's the key to the whole operation. Now look at this. Hurst shifter with the correct Hurst ball on it. Makes the car a whole different personality. Gives it a totally different personality with a 4-speed as opposed to an automatic. So this thing really looks like a Yanko, it drives like a Yanko, it feels like a Yanko, and you're going to buy it for a small fraction of what a real Yanko would cost you. You really need to look at this car on your Hankster's website for Daytona Beach. Very competitively priced, and it's a great car. You just watch us go around it. The fitment is just exemplary. You're not going to find much nicer than this. This thing is as nice a vehicle as you can buy, especially for the money that you're going to see you can buy it for. Check it out. Well, I think we have a few things to fix here. Gas gauge, even though it has a new sending unit in it, the gas gauge does not work. The left turn signal does work. The right signal does work. Let's check our wipers out here. The wipers do work. Wipers are great. No horn. Horn does not work. So we have a horn and a gas gauge to fix. Everything else appears to be okay. Down the road, nice. No hands on the steering wheel. Go straight first. No hands. Get up over this crest here. No hands on the steering wheel. It's going straight as can be. Let's see about brakes. Brakes nice and straight. No hands. Nope. Better jump down to second gear. Third gear. Underneath our 1972 Yanko style Nova. Black with white trim, white graphics on it, white letter tires. Real nice looking car. Let's take a look at the undercarriage and see what we have with this guy. New bushings on the front sway bar. New backing plates for the front disc brakes. New calipers. New associated hardware with the calipers. New rotors. Tire run ends are nice and crisp looking yet. There's no wear on the rubber parts on them. Relatively new starter. Looks like about 1.5 inch headers off this small block with a 3-inch collector. Power steering. New oil filter. Engine has been out and completely redone. Everything's painted nice as can be. New motor mounts on it. A little tiny bit of oil around the oil drain plug right here. It doesn't appear that it's leaking anywhere. Definitely not leaking anywhere up on the oil pan or the rear main. A little bit of residual oil here came back, and obviously when you drive it, it's touching the very bottom of the bell housing area and transmission. But there's nothing apparently leaking other than that drain plug, is from what I can see. Probably just a gasket, next oil change, put a new gasket on it and it'll be fine. Again, 1.5 inch primary tube headers on this thing, going into about a 3-inch collector, and I'm going to call these 2.5 inch pipes on the way back. Borg-Warner transmission in it, 4-speed, new mount on the back of it, no leaks on the back of it, new U-joint. Subframes on this car are solid as a rock. There's no deterioration. All the welding is still nice and clean and crisp on it yet. New body mounts. All 4 of them are new body mounts on this particular vehicle. No leakage around the speedometer cable also. So we really don't have anything other than a minuscule drip there off the oil pan, which we're not going to fix because the oil was changed in it. At some point, whenever we change it again, you put a new gasket on it. Problem solved. Floor pans themselves don't appear to have been replaced, and they're in excellent condition. The substructures underneath them also are just as nice as can possibly be. There's no evidence of anyone denting or jacking the vehicle up through the years on the subframes or the floor pans, thank God. The substructures, the transition from the subframe over to the other subframe, one to the other, on the floor pans. No jack marks on it either. We're halfway back through here, and I can't really see anything. I mean, absolutely nothing. Original brake lines appear to be transitioning toward the rear. Original fuel line also still intact. It's a nice car so far. I don't see anything at all that is amiss on this thing. Again, you can see all new brake hardware on it. Nice straight car. Let's see what's on the other half. Okay, floor pans in the rear are just as nice as they were up front. Really nice condition. Subframes in the rear the same way as the front ones, just as really nice as can be. The torque boxes for your front mount of the monoleaf rear springs that are on this vehicle are nice and clean yet. No deterioration whatsoever. Just notice there is not a parking brake cable coming from the front to the back. There's 2 cables here from the rear brake drums, which are drums in the rear as opposed to discs in the front. So we definitely have to install the remainder of the parking brake assembly for you. Someone's neglected to put it back on after the restoration of the vehicle, but we are going to put a parking brake on here for you. New U-joint in the back. Again, the floor pan just as nice and new and fresh as you could ever hope for. Monoleaf obviously in the rear. All 4 tires are brand spanking new on this thing. Shocks in the front were new. Shocks in the back are also new. And again, I'm going to say 2.5 inch pipes dumping out behind the rear wheels where they normally did for a Chevy Nova. Gas tank doesn't have one little tiny crease here. We're not even going to call that as any distress whatsoever. A little tiny crease there on the gas tank, and that's about it. Drop downs in the fenders are nice and fresh and clean looking. The substructure on the floor of the trunk in the back is just as nice as could be. There's no rust or deterioration whatsoever on it. There's no pull marks or anything on the back part of this. I really can't see anything on this particular vehicle that there's a new fuel line coming out of the gas tank, which would to me designate that it's a new sending unit in the tank, because it does have new lines and a fresh line from the main line going up front from the sending unit. So this car is a nice Nova, I think, as you're going to find, you can see the floor structure is as clean and nice as can be. It's not pouring oil out anywhere. That one little tiny drip, that was it. Brand new exhaust system on it, Flowmaster mufflers. Nice solid 72 Yanko style Nova for you. Take a look at it here on our Hanksters site in Daytona Beach, Florida.